go. Here I go again on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born. Walk alone. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of walking alone. Yeah, Jesus and everything like that. There's a part in the Bible that says it is harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle. And right now, October 3rd, like I have known for 4 or 5 days that I was supposed to be helping the people in the disaster, and I have been chicken shit, working my job, witnessing, handing out Bibles, doing my thing. But I should have been boots on the ground in the yonder, and like I know that's what I was supposed to do, and I did not. So for me to not be there right now is sin, because I don't give a fuck if FEMA says I'm going to be arrested if I go. You know what I mean? Like that. Don't threaten me with a good time, and to get persecuted for doing the will of God. I mean, like, come on. Anyway, I'm literally bound and tied to Texas because I am a debt slave, because I have a mortgage, because I have a job, and there's so much more in the world. And I never had a job until I went to Texas. I always just did my own thing, and I didn't even have a bank account. I was a feral human being, making my way the only way I know how. And that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. So, yeah, now everything costs so much and stuff like that, everything, and I just want to scoop my wife up and my child, even though he's older than I am. And I just want to take my household into the woods and like buy this, good enough, create this off-grid in a great community and do the rolling revival. Like just literally go do revivals non-stop and, be available and be free enough that I could just hop in the old, 3500 and head to the yonder and be the hands and feet of Jesus until I just give out trying, Like I am built for that. I'm sitting here in this air-conditioned truck, just driving down the road. I just so overly convicted, which is funny because I'm about to go to a way station. We're over here in Raton, New Mexico. I had a great witness last night at Walmart. I may have inadvertently sent 3 people to the situation. Definitely impacted and changed their lives with the options of Grindstone and they had never heard of Andy Frisella. You know what I mean? These are strapping young men would be an accurate description, and very respectful. Turned out they was from Oklahoma as well. And I met them over by Lubbock, Texas, and stopped in there and everything. And then, it's Rosh Hashanah, and it was like, technically right at sundown. So my card got declined, so I could not do business. So, and I didn't even know it was Rosh Hashanah or whatever, which I guess that's today or whatever. So, yeah, stumbling into righteousness, good old Skip Degraff. Just, utterly messing everything up and constantly, not enough. Somehow God is enough, making it work out. Stumbling into righteousness. And, let's pause this for let's have a moment of silence for the way station. probably wondering, what the hell's this guy hauling? He's only got 13,000 pounds on his drives. He's going to, about the time I'm going across there. There you go. Get your ass out of the way. Walking down the middle of the lane. You know better than that shit. Ain't even looking. Stopped at a no parking spot at the stupid Scale House. Anyway, yeah, like people don't know how to act appropriately. And, you know, even that suffering right there. Like how much the board is gone, like this jackass Skip won't go where I tell him to go, and you know is over here like totally not observing the feast. You know what I mean? And he's so gentle with me, and then like I can't somehow be as much or more frustrated. Well, there's no way more. I can't be frustrated and still be nice to my wife. You know what I mean? And that's like why I can't have already had that place paid off and able to go and do the, you know, free will gospel in the earth, be hands and feet. So, you know, I guess this is to apologize for all those in the kid folk. You know, I just listened to I just listened to this song, The World Is So Cold, and I'm out here in the dark. Dude, them people. And the song's talking about everything washing away. And it's a pretty hardcore song. And I got so much love for them people. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude. I've been without and lost in the woods. I know what it's like to watch them die. I know what it's like. You know what I mean? If they're out there, and then some commie son of a bitch tries to say that, oh, we have an official title, so you can't take them a blanket. Fuck you, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, if ever there was a reason to, anyway, I can get her done. I know how to get her done. And, I'm not over there getting her done, and people are dying. I gotta live with that as I drive in my comfy air-conditioned truck with my waters and cans and food, and I can stop and swipe a card and have anything I want from friggin' Lubbock to Cheyenne today. Just look at the scenery, make a video. I mean, yeah, you know, a guy does what he can, you know. I mean, you can do the drop shipping thing. You know, got in contact with some business owners, you know, and try to send some stuff various ways. Ran into one guy. There's you know, some horses on the way, equipped with chainsaws, which I've never seen a sawhorse until yesterday, but. They're on their way. I don't know where they'll be at though. You know, it like it's pretty widespread, and it's different areas. You know, a lot of people got flooded. Yeah, but some places are catastrophic, and you know, it's just, you know, you got your extremely off the chart, and then all the way down to not that bad. But the catastrophic is catastrophic, and it's a lot bigger than they say. You know what I mean? And I understand, they want to stop the looting and stuff like that or whatever. But I mean, when the patron saint of drug addict Floyd died and they burnt the city down and looted everything, that was a bunch of assholes. Okay? When the whole town washes away and they break into the grocery store to get water, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, write it off with your insurance. Okay, yeah, we got robbed. You know what I mean? Dude, it's like, I literally have stuff staged that way. If DMW gets nuked, like I got my handout buckets, I got barrels of stuff, I got rice and everything else. I will, Unit T will be overrun. By the time the groups get as far as I am north, they'll be organized to the point that there's no stopping them. You know what I mean? And to go from where, by the time my people realize it's go time, it'll be late to the jump. Oh shit! Police just passed by, scared the shit out of me. It's too late. It's too late for me to get over, officer. Anyway, it all comes back to make sure they got a Bible to read while they're still alive. And like, how much the more could I reach people if I wasn't in this truck? And then how much the more am I set apart in this truck in this time to see this stuff, to, do the paperwork side. It's like I've been hands and feet with it. I've never been administration. You know what I mean? So, as a dad, you'll say the words, this is going to hurt me or it's going to hurt you. When you have to, take away the bicycle or spank them or whatever. And it does. Every dad feels that. But, man, I'm not saying I'm these people's dads or anything else like that. And I think they're fully equipped and everything. And, they're going to be able to take care of it themselves. And there's nothing saying that, 2 or 3 weeks down the road I couldn't go or whatever like that. But, I'm in no position with my finances to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm not, the affiliates and everything like that, everything's pushed towards others. And there's so much need in the world. So, this self-funded ministry, the best I can do is keep driving the truck, keep the wolf off the door, and, do some Bibles in the meantime. Which it seems like way more than anybody else is doing on a regular day, and it just seems like a limp dick on a day like today. And I hate to say it that way, but man, I just feel impotent, that I'm not being fully effective where I could be, and it's hard to describe. It really is. This is I've been to prison, you know what I mean? And that's a certain level. The door's locked. Like, you don't have the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, I can pull over and get out, rent a car, and drive over there. You know what I mean? We had a saying, the only thing stopping us is fear and common sense. We're fresh out of both. You know what I mean? And then this gets back to this. Jesus said, drop what you're doing and come on. And then the rich guy's like, walked away sad because he had a bunch of stuff. Well, I don't give a shit about stuff, but my wife's traumatized and psychoanalyzed and, sentimental about everything. She lost her mom, lost her dad, they lived there. She's been there for, 25 years. You know what I mean? A lot of it makes sense. I mean, I get it, you know what I mean? But it's just like, mathematically and logically speaking, like it makes no sense whatsoever. And then it's like, I'm talking to her and I'm like, well, what's going to happen when we're dead and gone? You know, of course we're going to take care of Dennis or whatever else like that. And then like she's like, well, let's just give it to the church. Well, let's sell the son of a bitch and go be the church right now with the money. Turned down $800,000. They offered me $800,000 for that place. And I'm just like, pack your bag. Pack your bag and let's go. And of course, you know, we're trying to outfit it that way. People that are on missions and everything else like that got some place to come and rest, you know, and do like this whole, you know, honor the hands and feet of Jesus thing. And like, here, oh, missionary, breathe. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't go be a missionary because she wants to help the missionary breathe. It's like, this is either adding up so good I can't count it, or like, which is probably possible. That's generally the way it goes, stumbling into righteousness. So yeah, I'm totally going to post this video that way you guys can see the struggle. But I mean, this is struggle is the word. Struggle is the word. And man. And maybe I'm nostalgic about living at the end of the last dirt road. And maybe it's a freaking thing. Maybe it's selfish on my part. But, you know, I've had kinfolk die or whatever else like that. And we moved. Like, right after the passing, we went home. I just cried all night. And the next day, I'm like, I can't stay here. You know, and we moved. And that, like, helped close a chapter type of deal. You know what I mean? There's something about that. There's something about that allows a healing. There's like a, okay, this is done type of deal. Now we're moving on. You know, turn the page type of thing. And then I've lived a lot of places, and I've been on the run a lot. So the leave everything behind and go start over. You know, Bible in hand, wearing a pair of boots. Work boots and an ID in your back pocket so you're qualified for a job and just start over. You know, random USA. I've done that like 12 times. You know, so it's when you get to a new town, you don't know nobody. You know, for years I was like, every time I leave Oklahoma, I do great. I come back here, it's a bunch of bullshit. Well, I didn't have no Klingons. People that cling to you and drag you down. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily bad, don't get me wrong. But on the one hand, it's responsibilities. On the other hand, the people that refuse to learn and do for themselves, and that could be any age. I mean, from 5 years old to 75. The people that refuse to figure it out and do it for themselves, they can really latch on to you. And then, you know, that developed in me this thing of it's kind of a 24-hour deal. You know what I mean? I got a heart big as Texas, but it's only about an inch thick. Like, I ain't gonna put up with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll help you and everything. Don't get me wrong, you know, get you propped up, point in the right direction. I had a boy pat on the back and see you. I'm out of here. You know, that's kind of my thing. And I don't get hurt that way. I don't hurt them that way, and all that. So there's like a separation and a distance. It's like when you're running with the football, you got that stiff arm. You know what I mean? Good or bad, you got that stiff arm out there. You know, so I got like, you know, the wife at a distance. You know, and she's supposed to be my rib or whatever. And And I'm like, come on in, let's do this way. Because this and then this and then this equals goal. And like, we discussed the goal, and here's the goal. And I don't care one way or the other, but she gives a shit to a significant level. So I'm like, okay, let's do that then. Ain't no big deal to me. And then I get saddled in to make the goal happen, and then she don't want to participate. And shit, man, the world's got every excuse in the book. Like, you don't have to go try to find a reason to fail. You don't have to find a reason to be overweight. You don't have to find a reason to be, broke and fucked up in the game. Scraping the bottom, and spiritually, physically, mentally. I mean, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. You got your reasons, you got your excuses, whatever like that you just cling on to like a sacred cow. It's like, dude, get rid of your idol. You know what I mean? You are not a victim, you're a victor. That's what the Bible says. That's who you are. You are to walk in victory. You are to overcome the world. You are to go conquer the earth. Be the hands and feet of Jesus in the earth. Take it by force if necessary. Try to be nice about it. None of this adds up to, well, I can't because I don't have a car. Or, oh, I can't because it's hard to wake up in the morning. Oh, I can't because nobody will help me. I mean, I'm not saying that stuff ain't real, but it ain't do you no good. That's just a bunch of wasted effort. You know what I mean? Okay. Your point is what? Okay, are you pointing that out because this is what God's going to bring you through? So bringing it up is like you're giving Him glory about this deal? Is that what you're saying? Because anything other than that's bullshit. Anything other than that's bullshit. And I pick a subject. World war, famine, death, tragedy. Being emotionally distraught. So what? Get over it. Get over it. Lay it at the cross. Jesus, here, take this from me. Go do the mission. And you'll know what the mission is because it's right there in front of you. He'll make you aware. Hey, you can get busy. You can get busy. You know what I mean? You're under fire, so to speak. You know what I mean? Okay, let's say that, you're ground zero at Hiroshima. You know what I mean? You better go ahead and, get a root cellar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read this one deal where this guy was at Hiroshima or Nagasaki one, and the bomb went off, and he was laying in a ditch. Then he got himself together and walked back to the next town, and the bomb hit there the next day, and he lived through both of them. So, I mean, heaven forbid that's what you're going through. But then I've seen people devastated because they failed a test in school. I've seen people devastated because like their mom or dad died. Their mom died, dad died, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Should you be important? Yeah, of course. But you can't get paralyzed with it. That's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to conquer. That's what you got to squish out. And I have never found a better way to make it through adversity than helping the people around me. And generally, because I read the Bible, they don't know how to do it the way the Bible says to do it because they don't read the Bible. So you don't have to be, Plato or, some kind of Greek philosopher. You know what I mean? We don't need to be Marcus Aurelius or whatever, Gandhi or whatever. I don't even know those people. But you don't have to be this. You don't have to be some kind of giant. You can just be there beside them. That's generally good enough. And just they know that you care. That's a cool deal. And then there's like, hey, well, you realize the Bible says this and that. You know what I mean? And that's why I love and hate Celebrate Recovery. I love that people get together and say, hey, the world has kicked my ass. And now I'm trying to be sober. And I started doing drugs because life is hard. And I ran from it. I ain't running no more. But it caught up and I lost my excuse because I'm sober now. So I don't have the excuse of saying, well, I was drunk, so I have to fix me. That's great. That's great. And be there in this moment of struggle and have a place to voice it. Cool. On the other hand, I hate that place because you can't tell people how to fix it. If I gotta sit there and listen to that shit, you gotta sit there and listen to my advice. I'll go that far with you. I'll go that way. If I gotta sit there and listen to everything like that and be that involved, you're gonna have to listen to my 2 cents of how to fix it. I think depending on how closely related you are, if you want to walk with me after that, then because I'm probably going to tell you what the Bible says, and I'm going to be trying to walk the Bible, like literally walk it out. So that's going to be, imperfect, yet fully, that's where my heart's at. So if it says don't do that, I'm going to be like, don't do that. And if it says do that, I'm going to be like, do that. And this is the funny part, like somebody had sent me a message about, should I go to this Catholic service, blah, 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 some kind of catechism? Whatever. I don't even know what a catechism is. When I hear catechism, I think of like a burial chamber, like somewhere you put a dead body. It's like, oh, where's Jeff at? Well, he died a year ago. He's over at the catechism. You know what I mean? It's like decay and death is what I feel and hear. So they're like, this is the way it was presented to me. Hey, I'm going to blah, blah, blah catechism. Would you go? And I'm like, no. Number one, the Catholic Church has a lot of demonic shit. And I don't know 100% right, wrong. So I don't want to believe a lie. So I don't want to listen to the doctrines of demons inadvertently and think it's righteousness and get all fucked up. So, no, I'm not going to put myself. And then right after that, I posted a link. I said, well, what I would do is I would read the Bible. And here's the section of the Torah that explains what to do. You can Google that. So I'd probably Google that. And then I would act appropriately. And then I would probably fast. And whatever money I was going to spend for that holiday, that set apart time, I would probably use that time to reflect on goodness. And then whatever I was going to eat, I would donate that. To some appropriate place. And then I linked to Grindstone Ministries because they're like freaking helping people that are dying. So, anyway, I get the message back. I'm so happy. I went to the first Rosh Hashanah thing. And I was like, that sounds awesome. What was that like? No response. And then I'm just like, all right, well, hey, that sounds great. Because the people in Texas don't know how to, they don't understand the concept of a conversation via text. They're just like, it's like shit. I think the movie's called Up. And they got the dog and he's like, squirrel. You know what I mean? Halfway through something. So you call them on the phone, they ain't gonna answer. I don't know anybody that answers the phone in Texas. Like literally nobody. Like I had to call this guy 6 times to pay a bill over the phone. Like I think we went to my one of the motorcycles and my lawnmower about 2 years ago. Oh, this dude $800. Could not get a hold of this guy for nothing. And I'm trying to pay. You know, the work's been done. The equipment returned. It's in place. It's being used. I owe this guy money. I had to hunt this dude for 2 weeks to pay him. Ridiculous. I don't know why people are like that. But it's like that in Texas. It's the land of unnecessary hassle. If they're going to take over the earth via the financials, Texas will be the last place standing because they'll just be stalling that long. Like there's just that many hoops, hurdles, and hassles. Anyway, we've got 6 overpasses in one intersection. It's like you can route the highway just a little, like half a mile over here, instead of building 100 foot in the air. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's other places in the world where they don't have those options, so they just, do what they got to do or whatever. But I mean, I seen a road the other day. It was a surface street. I can't remember. I know it was in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and I seen a surface street that had 6 lanes, no shoulder on either side, and it wasn't the paper. The footprint of the road was the same size as a 4-lane highway in Texas. Like they had 2 whole extra lanes. And I thought to myself, well, if somebody breaks down, and I was like, they ain't got no shoulder. And I was like, oh yeah. They would just park in the far right lane and it becomes a shoulder. Dude. It's just like being out in California, man. You drive down a 4-lane, you know what I mean? You got 2 this way, 2 this way, and then the trucks are stuck at 55. So effectively, you just cut all your traffic down on the interstate down to 1 lane. Because you put a sign up that says 70 for these people, 55 for these people. They create a separation of classes between the working class and the upper class. You know what I mean? Which is all, psychological conditioning to accept Marxism. Anyway. So I'm driving down the road, and it feels like, dang, I think that's the FBI right there, Men in Black. It even says U.S. Army on there, so maybe they're just civilians going up here ignoring it. I'll be going through